Out of what crypt they crawl, I cannot tell, but every night I see the rubbery things, black, horned, and slender, with membranous wings. They come in legions on the north wind's swell, with obscene clutch that titillates and stings, snatching me off on monstrous voyagings, to grey worlds hidden deep in a nightmare's swell. Over the jagged peaks of Thok they sweep, heedless of all cries I try to make, and down the nether pits on to that foul lake, where their puffed shoggoths splash in doubtful sleep. But ho, if only they would make some sound, or wear a face where faces should be found. Night-Gaunts was written in around 1930, but wasn't published until nearly a decade later in Weird Tales magazine. The creatures from which the poem takes its name are actually inspired by Lovecraft's childhood nightmares, in which he dreamed of bat-winged monsters that would carry him off into the unknown. Many of Lovecraft's literary critics attribute the nightmares to anxiety caused by the passing of his grandmother, with whom he was very close as a child. Lovecraft himself believed he'd been subconsciously inspired by the works of French artist Gustave Doré, whose works often depicted biblical demons with wings. If we look deeply into the meaning behind the poem, we might see an allegory for Lovecraft's imagination. Let's review the first two lines. Out of what crypt they crawl, I cannot tell. The first line suggests an air of mystery, but also wonder. The human imagination is a mysterious thing. We don't really know where inspiration and creativity come from, and this line can be interpreted as an expression of Lovecraft's own curiosity. But every night I see the rubbery things. Here we understand that the Night-Gaunts come to him in his dreams, a time when he has no control over his own self-conscious, alluding to his fear due to his inability to control what happens. This could again be a subconscious expression of how he felt when losing his grandmother, an event that was out of his control. Let's move on to the end of the first verse. Snatching me off on monstrous voyagings, to grey worlds hidden deep in nightmare's swell. The grey worlds hidden in the nightmare's well suggest a place in the subconscious that a writer goes to in order to be inspired. A common theme in Lovecraft's work is that of dreams being unique dimensions filled with strange and horrifying creatures, and it's clear that Lovecraft identified dreams as a fertile place for the imagination. Let's carry on. Over the jagged peaks of Thok they sweep, heedless of all the cries I try to make. Travel often represents change. Again, this could allude to the death of his grandmother. The emotional trauma Lovecraft must have suffered is apparent from the cries depicted in the second line. But ho, if only they would make some sound, or wear a face where faces should be found. The poem ends with the narrator's horrific realization that his kidnappers are faceless, without mouths, eyes, or even a nose. The implied mystery of a creature that has no face, and thus gives nothing away, again alludes to the mystery of death, and suggests that the mystery of the imagination is a voyage without agenda. It seems Lovecraft was a willing participant in this journey, and why not? Behind the cold, dark face of the void lies a universe of infinite possibilities. Okay, that's it for today guys. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.